Yo, 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 it's Reverse Polarity episode 11. It's me, your boy, High Five Vega. I'm joined by the man who never sleeps, aka the Zip Tie Jedi,
Ooh.
aka the Pharaoh of Pharaohs,
Oh man, good one.
the man who once said they're yummy in reference to fruitcake. Dean, what's up? What's going on, Dean?
Dude, I love fruitcake. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things that it's like broccoli. It just kind of grows on you.
No, it definitely doesn't. Let's just get straight into it. I put it up for this was our poll for the week. It was
Okay.
the fruit pie, and the people have spoken
All right.
definitively. We have
Nah.
81 votes. The options were shaking my head, yay, nah, unsubscribe.
Oh well,
And
yeah.
I gotta say, I completely, Haley made the statement that
Mm-hmm.
if you don't like fruitcake, unsubscribe. I completely agree with this.
Yeah. Well,
Completely
don't
agree.
unsubscribe, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that as a kid, you just hated it, and I don't know. One day, as an adult, I tried it, and I was like, everyone says these are supposed to be terrible, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of dig it. It's not like you can take a whole big chunk of it and go to town, but it was one of
Yeah.
those things that it was like not bad.
Well, I do have a fruitcake story. So
Okay.
the reason this rang so true. If you think I haven't given fruitcake a try,
Oh
people,
no, yeah.
let me tell you this story.
All right. Well,
So
before you start, the reason why we're even talking about fruitcake is because if you caught the Boring Life of Dean
yeah,
and Haley this week, it referenced some fruitcake. So, well, that's
yes.
why we're talking about it. But go
And
on.
an epic Bed Bath & Beyond trend. I left the link to the subscribe button below. If you're not subscribed, you definitely want to check it out.
Okay.
Fruitcake story. A couple years ago, my daughter Bailey, and I were watching how it's made. I believe
Uh-huh.
they're making fruitcakes, very high end fruitcakes. So we're like, man, I haven't had a fruitcake in forever. She'd never had a fruitcake. These things look delicious. And I say, you know what it is? I've all my life tasted these cheap ass fruitcakes. I'm going to the store. I'm buying the good fruitcake. We're getting the good fruitcake, and we're gonna
Okay.
eat it. We went to the store, got the good fruitcake, got home, took one bite, and I was like, "No, man, fruitcake is bad." I paid $50 to find out fruitcake is still
Oh my
bad, even at
God.
$50.
Well, I mean, I look at it like anything else food wise that you try. There are certain versions of it that suck and certain versions that are not. Like I had a family member that loved asparagus, but he only likes asparagus from a can. And I'm like, oh, gross, because it's all mushy and soft, but he loved it. I mean, he literally just eat it out of the can like it was,
Oh,
I don't know. I'm like, I like mine grilled with salt and pepper, and it's like, yeah, but so, certain fruitcakes do taste like ass, just like certain pies and cakes taste like ass. Yes, there are such thing as bad pies and cakes. I know it's hard to believe, but I don't know. And there again, as a dad with kids and other things in your house that run around and having something that you get to call your own, apparently the fruitcake is mine and no one will ever bother it. I
I
could
get it.
I could put a piece of fruitcake on the counter and it will be there until I get back to touch it. They will not. It'll be like,
And it's gonna look exactly the same whether it sat there for 1 day or 1 year.
oh yeah, it'll never change. It'll never change. Yeah. And honestly, the fruitcake that we got that day was from the World Market. I don't know if you ever. It's really the coolest store ever. If you're into like foodie and weird stuff like that, if you have a World Market in your town, you definitely want to go in there because, along with furniture and pictures and stuff like that, the store constantly changes and they get new stuff from all over the world. So December is like we're going there every other week because they always get new candies and cakes and stuff like that in, and it's like, oh, what do they have today? And I knew they'd have the fruitcakes in because they had them last year, so I was like, we're going. Getting the fruitcake.
Yeah. Those brownies look pretty good too.
Yeah, that was funny too because I grabbed that at the last minute. That was one of those checkout, like we're all hungry. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah. And of course, like Haley called it, man. She's like, this thing looks stale-ish. And it's like, wait a minute.
She ate it in 2 bites, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
suspect that it was pretty decent
Yeah, and it
after
was
all.
what's funny is because one of the things she hates is when I record her eating. And that's why
Yeah,
I tend to always do it because I know it irritates. And she'll be like,
yeah,
she'll try to do it fast, so I can't. I'm like, dude, it's 30 frames a second, or that's 60 frames a second. I'm good.
yeah, yeah.
I can slow this thing down a lot.
She does see every single chew.
Yeah.
It look
So
cool for your friends.
yeah. No,
Good times.
most of the time she doesn't even tell her friend she has a YouTube channel. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, I probably wouldn't either.
I don't tell anyone I have a YouTube channel. I keep it as private as possible. I don't. I ain't got
They
nothing.
always find out though. I'm like, "Oh, you're one of those guys that does the boom boom stuff." Well,
Nope. I never have anybody tell me that.
you
Nope.
don't?
No,
Oh, you're
God, no.
lucky. You're
No.
lucky.
Most people don't recognize me when I'm out and about. That's the funny part. Like
Yeah.
they'll like if I'll be out with Haley. We were out at a car show, and a guy saw her, goes, "Haley?" And I go, and she's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Where's your dad?" Totally pissed her off. But I was like, "He knew your name." I
Yeah.
mean, they'll see Fernando. They'll know who he is. A couple of the reps that have been on the show, they'll call those guys out all the time. But no, it's like
That's
a
the way to
white guy
go.
in a white room. No one knows who that guy is.
Oh, when they tell they want me to help them with the install, I'm like, "Have you ever heard of 5 Star Car Stereo?" Those guys, you could just pay them and they'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yay.
So what headphones do you have for today?
Well, I think I've reached the end of my list, but these are the Grottos, just the SR80s.
Yeah.
I've had these on before. I gotta kind of go through. I was in a hurry today, so I kind of got to go through and figure out what I got. Plus, there's a couple pairs I want to buy, but it's the end of the year, and I'm kind of tired of spending money right now.
Well, I think I've recycled this shirt as well.
Oh, a kicker!
The
There you
kicker.
go.
I don't know what shirts I have and haven't worn on this podcast at this point, so this could be recycled. It could not. Who knows?
So let me ask you this: when it comes to like cart, okay, so obviously this is Focal.
Yeah.
I love the shirts. They're great speakers. Everyone knows I'm a Rel fan, but it's like, come on, really, it's Focal. You can't do no wrong. So are you like, okay, I'm really bad when I organize my shirts in my closet over here. So it's like all the car stereo shirts so it's like I have like 3 or 4 Focal shirts, and then like 3 or 4 Mobile Solutions shirts, and then so everything is in a group. So all the shirts are together and they're in their brand. And then I have like car stereo shops, like guys from car stereo shops that can give me their shirts. And then I have like YouTubers. And so it's like all the cars, but it's all in their little subgroups. And then I have all my holiday shirts. And then I have like all my Disney shirts, all my Star Wars shirts, all my superhero shirts, all my random cartoon shirts, all my restaurant shirts. So I group all my rock and roll shirts. So yeah, I know it's neurotic. There's no question about it. All right, I'll just go with the laughter that no, you don't do that.
Yeah. No. So I don't actually organize my closet. My wife's so awesome that she does it for me.
Nice.
By color. So blacks, blues, grays.
Yeah.
Mostly blacks and grays. There's
which Haley says so weird, but that's exactly what she does. So I don't want to hear about it. And yes, all the Boba Fett shirts are grouped together.
Well, I mean, you had a totally awesome shirt on The Boring Life, the Rick and
the Rick and Morty shirt,
the Christmas Rick shirt. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah,
super fly.
Well, I feel if I don't do that, I can't ever find what I'm looking for. So, like, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, I want to wear, a car stereo shirt." Then I'll be like, "All right, which car stereo shirt haven't I worn before?" And it's like, "Oh, this one." And then I just have drawers of shirts. So, like, when I lost a bunch of weight and I went from down to a large, we have a box of extra large T-shirts at the store that we just give away. They've never been worn. They're still all in their plastic bags. And I was like, man, I got to go buy all these stereo shirts. It totally sucks. And then now it's like I'm back in the same boat. I have boxes of large stereo shirts. And I'm like, I'm never going to wear all these. But if you walk in and give me a free shirt, I can't not say no. It's like,
you got to do it.
Yeah, I want your shirt. Yes, give it to me. But
yeah, I'll wear this shirt while I'm installing.
No, you can't do that. We can't. Oh my God! All right, so we want to go there. So we used to wear shirts while we installed. That was the whole thing. You get a shirt, someone gives you a shirt, you wear it in the install bay. It's like free advertisement. It was the whole thing. But what we figured out was we would, when we first started shooting videos, we'd have like a Pioneer shirt on doing like a Kenwood install. And so Kenwood would be like, hey, that's a really cool video, but we can't share it because you're wearing a Pioneer shirt. And it's like,
Yeah.
I get it, but seriously? Okay, whatever. So, that was the whole like, let's get the 5-star shirts and, whatnot. And then we took down all the banners because we used to have a bunch of banners. We only have one Stinger banner hanging. And then we have those Pioneer empty boxes on the wall that eventually I just, it's like I want to get rid of those, but I also don't want to do the work that it takes to get rid of them.
That's just one step too far.
No, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like I know what I need to do, and it's where like a paid intern would be kind of cool.
That's what you need.
But I don't want to pay an intern, so
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there's an unpaid intern out there willing to help out around the shop.
Yeah,
Learn
no.
some of those wiring techniques.
Yeah, no.
Well, see, I got, Derek, I got one of the Wilson audio shirts he sent to me.
Yeah.
And that shirt is so comfortable. Like, that's
yeah.
not an install shirt. Like, okay,
No.
this goes into the everyday pile. This is not an install shirt.
Well, Teespring has those, like, yeah, you get that.
Yeah, the 5-star too. I don't wear that one installed, the blue one.
Oh, those are so comfortable. I know. It's like this is not, and this shirt could probably take a bullet because it's like that super thick material, but it's like, yeah, no, I would never wear this install. I like the Teespring shirts for installing because they just like they move, and like the ones we have, of course, they've been washed so many times. There's nothing left on them, and it's like I don't care.
You can still tell. You can still tell. This one's got the small arms, so it makes my arms look bigger.
I like this comment. Don't worry, Dean. I'll recognize you by your sneakers.
Where was that?
It was Steve Doolittle said that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like
can those be called sneakers?
No, they can't. Well, I mean, technically, yes, because you could sneak really well with them, but
yeah, I guess technically almost anything can happen.
Yeah, technically almost anything could happen.
Scott's got his Excursion 4 Resilient Sound 15s on a Rockford T4000 and a EH5. Woo! That's some real bass head stuff right there, man.
That's one of those amps that I worked with so many times that it was like, man, that's one of those like I'd like to have one of those amps, but I don't know why.
Yeah,
because it's
that's
like
about 2 steps above my pay grade.
Well, it's not even that. It's just it's so big. It's like what are you gonna do with that? I mean, that's one of those amps I would take as long as the cover was in decent shape. I really don't care if it works. It's just like an Orion Beast. I really don't care if it works. I just want the heatsink. It's just because it's not like I'll ever turn it on.
Who knows how much power that really puts out?
A lot.
Just showed the 302. Doing like 1,000 watts. So
well, we have a 2001 that's screwed to the board that's blown up. So and it's missing the bottom piece, but that this van I worked on years ago, we had because they had a 4-channel for that too. They had a 1004. And I think that ended up having 3 4000s and 2 1004s. So there was 5 amps. It was ridiculous. Yeah,
those aren't small amps. Those aren't small amps at all.
Oh no! Luckily, I just had to help him, build stuff because I was, he was one of our part-time installers at the time. So it was like, hey, I just don't know how to fabricate, and now he thinks he's a master fabricator. So it's like, all right, whatever.
Hey, that's how I do too. You show me one thing, and my head just gets so big, I float up in the air.
I was never like that. I just kind of like. It's like, oh, that's cool. I'll just put that in my pocket and save it for later. It's like, because I feel like I feel like if you're not constantly learning new stuff, then what's the point? I mean, you kind of have to, keep upping your game, so to speak. So if you just rest on one thing, then it's just kind of like, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how you learn, man. You got to take what everyone does and make it your own in a certain way, and that's you put your own little spin on it.
Bobby, it's okay. I'll get you a fruitcake.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of fruitcake he's talking about.
I
You
don't know.
know?
Just save it. Just save it until we get to come back to California. It's not like it's gonna go bad. Of
Yeah,
course, we might not be able to get to go back to California anytime soon.
yeah.
So,
The whole
Jesus.
world's gonna be shut down till further notice. Who
Oh
knows?
my God. I mean, not like I'm complaining. If like you told me tomorrow, like, hey, look, you got to not work for a week or a month or whatever it was, I'd be like, damn. I'd
Yeah.
definitely be fine for at least the first week.
And then you'd put out what, like 10, 12 videos a week?
Oh, we'd definitely lock ourselves up and start filming mad stuff. I mean, oh my God, yeah, it'd be insane. There'd be no question about it. I mean, just like when we got locked in when COVID shut us down the first time, it was like we just locked ourselves in the install bay and just, did mad work. It was funny too, because this week we had what we call the booger back. Posted some stuff up on Instagram about it. It's a little Ford Fiesta or whatever it is. This guy has a ton of Alpine equipment in it. We did a big system in it when COVID, when we were locked down. He just dropped his car off and we hammered it out in like 2 days. But then he brought it back because he wanted more, and it was like, oh, great. So, but it was just weird. It's like when we had this car, it's like going back and forth with the whole like thinking like, sometimes you have that nostalgia when something's over, and it's like, no, now we're balls deep into COVID, and this was right at the beginning when we were optimistic like this was going to end at some time.
Yeah.
This is time surprise. Quad box.
Quad box.
Yeah, no,
Check
no, I'm
under
not.
your seat, everybody. There's a quad box.
No, that's definitely not buying her a quad box. If I was to get her anything, it would be something different, because we've already gone down that road, like that road. So, one of the things about making videos is that if you've already done that video, going back to that, like we're past that. The world is just getting the quad box now, and like they're all, but we're already looking to what's the next thing, and that's what we want, because that's done in our world. I mean,
Dean's not going back to that X of a quad box.
No, we want the next.
You had a good time together. It was great while it lasted, but now it's time to move on.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, because you have to just keep. We need the next whatever the quad box is, and we'll get that. We'll play with it. We'll have a good time, and then we'll move on to the next thing there. So I mean, whatever that next thing is, which I mean, for the most part, we kind of know what it is. Oh, I forgot about these. But
yeah, don't spill no trade secrets.
No, not me. Forget that, man. No, I don't take my NDAs lightly. Yeah.
All right.
All right. We got a topic.
Yeah, man. We've beat our record. We're 17 minutes in. Let's get our topic going. The trends, our favorite trends in cardio right now.
So it's funny.
Should I start?
I start? I'm going to let you start, but let me just preface with this. I don't know if I don't know if I have any favorite trends, but I have a lot of not favorite trends. So you're going to be the positive in this for sure. And I'm definitely going to be the freaking Debbie Downer, because there's a lot of things trend wise in cardio that just bug the out of me. So I will let you go first and be the ray of sunshine that you are, and people love you for.
This is a surprise to nobody in the chat. So they know what they're here for.
Okay.
My very first trend is your fault. I think you're helping bring it back, you and Nando, the clean wiring.
Oh,
it's coming back. The Clean Wire Club has blown up. It's like everybody's starting to do it now, and I think it's awesome.
Dude, there's 31,000 members in the Clean Wire Club right now. And
wow.
Dude, in less than 6 months. Like, I wish I could get YouTube numbers to do that. Holy God, if I'd have known that, I would have started the YouTube Clean Wire Club and just like put up, look at my clean wire, baby. Oh yeah, holy Jesus.
You really could. You really could just cut the sections out where you're. Oh, and what video you just wired up an amp rack and you had like a sick trap beat going to it, like an extended cut.
I'm sure.
Oh, I was vibing. I was vibing on that whole part, man.
So yeah, we won't even go down that rabbit hole. No, so it's like, and it's funny too, because I will give credit where credit is due. The only thing I do on the Clean Wire Club is I come on and I get to play the dad role. When like people are acting stupid, I have to come on and be the guy like, listen, guys, everyone just needs to chill out, okay? Like I don't want to hear a bunch of F-bombs, a bunch of this guy sucks and that guy sucks and this sucks. I don't care about that, So I'll come in and I'll play the dad role and then I back out. But I just listen to whatever Clint and Fernando are saying. And that's it, because those two guys, Clint is a guy out of Australia that handles it during the opposite time zone as us, and which works out really well. And he does a phenomenal job. Like, you know, we have a little group that we keep in contact with everyone to make sure all the rules are what I want them to be. You know, I talked to him the other day, and he was like, I was like, dude, you're doing God's work. Just keep doing what you're doing. But, you know, it's getting to the point now. It's like, okay, so it started out nice and small and whatnot, but it's getting to where, yeah, we're probably going to have to add some more admins to it and tighten it up just a little bit more, because people, you know, it's like you always get the whiners, and it's like, so there was a big, like, we had a bunch of guys posting their like alarm and networking stuff that I thought looked phenomenal. Like, I had no problem with it. I was like, dude, this is like the coolest shit I've ever seen. And, you know, we were getting DM'd about how this is supposed to be for cardio only. I don't want to. I was like, all right, well. So I had to go through and delete all of that crap, because it was just like, all right, I get it. All right, enough people are whining about it. We'll just do this, and so we cleaned it all up. And, you know, felt bad, but, you know, hey, whatever. I mean, you kind of just like your YouTube channel, you kind of have to go where the audience tells you to go. And, you know, so, I mean, we just, all right, well, this was cool. We had fun. Let's go back to this. So, but dude, Nando's cutthroat, man.
He don't play. I see him on there. He don't play games.
No, he don't play at all, man. It's like when he says he will give you 24 hours to put up a picture, and if in
1 second over,
boom, it's gone. You know, it's like, bro, this isn't, you know, I don't need 27 pictures of this. He's going to cut you down to 2 and be like,
yeah, it's clean wire, not clean wire coming through the holes of your board.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on that. I hate that. Oh, God. Oh, and that was a big debate on there, too. It was like, well, this is so, you know, and I'm like, okay. All right.
This isn't the hidden wire club, bro.
Well, all right. Well, there was a simple answer to this. It's like, okay, here's a thought. If you're going to mount an amp on a board, no problem doing that. If you're going to drill holes and run the wires through the board, perfectly fine. Flip the board over where the wires are coming through. What do you do then? You still got wires. They still need to be ran somewhere. They still need to be routed. They still need to go somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. I understand why you like to drill holes and dump wires to the board, because you're freaking lazy and don't want to clean them up. Not everyone. Don't take this personally. Some people actually will clean them up, but other people
people won't.
Yeah, other people. It's a beauty board to hide everything that's behind it. It's just like the column: clean underwear, dirty underwear. It's to hide the dirty underwear. So it's like, no, I'm perfectly fine. Mount an amp on there, build a flush panel, run the wires underneath the amp, do whatever you want. Flip the board over. Do some pretty wiring, take a picture of that, and, you know, take a picture of the top, take a picture of the bottom, say this is what it looks like at the top, this is what it looks like on the bottom. Then I'm like, hey, you're a member of the Clean Wire Club. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. You know, you cared. No one is ever going to see that except you did a great job. Most people aren't going to do that because, well, what did one guy say to me once? The last mile is the loneliest one.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got to do it. If you're doing a YouTube video, you kind of got to do it. Otherwise, I might be the same way.
Well, I just cut to the next scene. Yeah. And cut.
The jump cut.
Oh, yeah. I love jump
All right.
cut. All right.
All right. You hit me with yours. I had one positive. You hit me with yours. We'll just go back and forth.
Well, okay. So I'll throw a positive out there, because this is the one, and I'm not gonna take credit for this, because I had to have Fernando help me with this, because there again, right now my brain is kind of going through a mush stage right now. And so it's like, not everything is, all 12 cylinders are not where they need to be. But he goes, DSP, bro. And I go, what about it? He goes, people are finally getting DSPs and understanding that they need DSPs. Like, it's becoming a trend. Like, on an average show, when we mention DSP, we get more questions about DSP. So it's finally starting to move in that direction. It's like, oh, I got an audio control. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. Oh, I got an audio control. You know, and I love it. And it's like, it's the questions that we got years ago that were like, what radio should I buy, have transitioned into what DSP can I get for under $500? You know, so it's like they've set a value, and they realize that they need to spend money. So to me, that trend is awesome. Like I couldn't be happier because all the work that not us, all the work that the industry, I guess, and companies that sell that are putting into like get a DSP, is finally starting to grab hold.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, the industry was just they'd come up behind you, and be like, "Hey, buddy, you need a DSP."
What? You talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
What is
That's how
this?
it happened.
What is this pee you talk of? I took one this morning. It was yellow. I didn't have enough water. It's like
Not like
okay.
asparagus.
Oh, and to piggyback on that, one of the trends I absolutely hate, and this is where I went immediately, is the PRS-80 is not the end-all be-all of radios. Okay? It's not.
I can actually agree with you.
I don't care how much you love it, and you can. It's not a bad radio. It's a really good radio. It is not the end-all be-all of radios. It's just a freaking single DIN that's, 6 years old now, that has the shittiest Bluetooth imaginable in it, but it does this one cool feature. A $250 DSP will kill it. It'll spank it like the redheaded stepchild. I wish it was.
You can't even take the tweet. Like if you wanted to run a big tweet, or I think the lowest frequency you can go is like 1100.
Yeah,
something like that. So
not only that, but it's like it's a preset.
Yeah. Oh, and the time alignment. As a matter of fact, I've recycled some footage, and you will see a video coming out about the PRS-80 soon. The time alignment is not where it's at.
No,
let's just say that
no. Well, it's a Pioneer, so your time alignment is already backwards.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with Pioneer. For all you guys that have Pioneers and you're trying to figure out why your time alignment doesn't ever work right, it's backwards. So you have to do left, right, right, left. So basically, what I'm getting at is, if you put them in to where this is 30 inches and then this is 65, and it just sounds totally screwed up, switch them. And guess what'll happen? More than likely, you'll get what you want.
It took me 2.5 years to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't even bother to put the numbers in. I just pick like an arbitrary, like I think this speaker is this, and I play my Polarity pop tracks, and I just keep moving the driver's side out because I figured this is going to be my 0 point, so I might put 12 inches or I might not put anything, and I'll just keep moving this speaker out until my sound goes center.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
oh, I had I had my buddy. I was like, hey man, I was like, help me with this. Like, does this sound off to you? I said, I know. I double checked everything is right. He's like, yeah, man, it's not centered.
No.
And, so maybe a year later after that, I figured out, it's like, oh, this is.
Yeah. This so is the first thing I do when I get into a Pioneer radio is I go and turn on the DS or the time alignment. Then I go into level adjustment because it automatically changes the level adjustment. So I put that all back at 0, and then I put all my time alignment back to 0. And then like I'll look at the rears and I'll say, okay, the rears, I don't know, 35 inches. Who cares? Just throw them in the back, add some delay. I'll leave this one. Either I'll add, if it's far away, I'll add maybe 12 inches, but most of the time I just leave it at 0 and literally just move that one out. And it's like, I'm done. I very rarely would go in and adjust the level.
Yeah.
Because once you have it lined up, it's lined up. I mean, it's not all that exciting. But yeah,
that's where you're getting deep at that point. With you probably need another level of.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of what's expected, though. I mean, if we're doing a system that's only going to have a head unit, I got to do whatever I can to that head unit because it's like we're not doing a DSP. Who sold them this? Why? Did I talk to this guy? Really? And I didn't sell him a DSP?
Yeah.
What the?
Well, he brought in the date and you threw it in the trash immediately, and then.
Oh, well, yeah, that would totally happen. And I'd be like, yeah, your radio's better. Let's just go with that.
All right.
Shit. All right, go ahead.
My next trend is efficiency in amplifiers. I do have a story with this. So I've noticed, especially with the last video I put up, the Kicker Q class, it had like low 60s in the efficiency. And people might not realize it. That's because that's a heavy regulated power supply in there, and that's going to be a little bit lower efficiency, and we've talked about it before, but people notice that now, and just the fact that they're noticing that the efficiency is low I think that's a good thing, and they're shooting for something that's highly efficient versus our old AB amps.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they need, if that's
Yeah.
what they need. So Andy Waymire put up an interesting post the other day. For those of you guys who don't know him, he's the owner of Audiofrog, and you should follow his Facebook page. Just everyone go follow Andy Waymire, and make sure you get tons of stereo stuff and tons of political rhetoric. You put up with the political rhetoric because the stereo stuff is pretty solid, and he's heavily opinionated and very smart. So it's like you just take what he's given, because when he's talking smart, you're like, dang, this is good stuff. And he was like, all right, guys, let's just get past this ABD shit, because all it is bad. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay, bad. BADA. Okay. And anyways, real deep. But the point of it was, it's like, and this is what I've said, like when we're talking about designing a system, figure out what you have for space. Figure out what criteria, how much power do you need? How efficient are your speakers? If your speakers are 95 dBs of efficiency at 1 watt, 1 meter, you don't need 120 watts. Okay? They're going to get loud with 50 or 70 really, really fast, So everyone can just back off. Now, if you have something that's like, 86 or 87, well, then, yeah, you might want to put a lot of power to those, because they're not going to get up and dance. But yeah, this whole efficiency thing, it's like, it's very helpful, but it's not it's only one specification. And it's not the end all be all. When you look at a Q class, we talked about that with Joe with the 502 when we were testing that. And it was like, we talked about it's heavily regulated, but not to the point to where it's going to shut down. It's like 10 volts is it, bro. And I'm out. And it's like,
just going to keep pulling amps to get that.
You're
going to have that minimum amount of power.
I had an argument with a guy recently about that, because he was complaining. He has one, and he was complaining about something, and I was like, "Yeah, but see, this is why this. I'm a mechanical engineer." I'm like, "Well, then why are we having this conversation? You should understand this. You're over here telling me you don't understand you understand amplifier topologies and the differences between regulated, unregulated, high efficient, and the 10 other power supplies. I am no expert on power supply sections of amplifiers by any stretch of the imagination. I know people that are smarter than me that are, and I just turn to them." But it's like, what I do know about this amplifier is, if you're trying to do what you're doing, you're going to have problems with it, because it's how it's built, and if you want something that's different, you're going to have to spend a lot more money. Sorry.
It's the way it is.
It's just the way it is. But yeah. So what else you got? Or you want
hit me with one of yours.
Oh crap! See, I got to think this stuff through.
Feel the hate come through you.
A-pillars. I'm not a fan of A-pillars. Okay, and specifically when there's some really nice looking A-pillars out there where guys will like make grills, and they'll try to make them look as factory as possible. So it's just not a tweeter and a 3.5 mounted on an A-pillar. It's like an A-pillar that has like some design and a cover over it, and it looks like it, in some twisted world, that could possibly be factory. But when you just have an A-pillar with this big ass tweeter mounted on it, it's like, which is fine. Okay, a tweeter I can get, because like there's plenty of cars that just have like a tweeter. I mean, every Honda, the older Ford F-150s, they had a tweeter there, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But like that big 3.5, that big tweeter,
I actually agree with this, and people are always on my case. Why didn't you build pods? Like, man, I don't want to modify this car that much. Like,
I just don't like the way it looks.
Yeah, I just like, I'll just use the factory location and make it work.
And that falls into the expectations of stereo design. It's like, do I want to do this, or am I going to be okay with that? And it's like, as long as you can accept as long as you can accept the consequences to your action, then yeah, do it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's all about balance, and if you are willing to not be a full competition winning stereo,
dude, man. So like Alpine has a Dodge Ram, and I just asked you to embrace the dark side. So they have this, Alpine has this Dodge Ram, and at the time they didn't have any middlers at all. There was nothing. So
Yeah.
and the X Type just came out, and I think this Ram had the X Type in it. It could be, it was either X or ours, but either way, they put the 6x9 in the door, and then they made A pillars to put a 6.5 and a tweeter.
Oh,
And I'm like,
gosh.
what the frick is this? And I'm just like going,
why, bro? Why'd you do this?
this is dumb. This is so dumb. Like, no, this is dumb. I mean, there's nothing else you could say about this other than this is dumb. I don't care how it sounds. And a 5 1/4 is the only thing that's dumber, because a 5 1/4 sounds like shit. I sat in this guy's truck. Jeff and I went to the show, and he's like, I want you to hear this. And I was like, okay. I sat in the car and I listened to it. I'm like, he's got 5 1/4 in the A pillars. 5 1/4 have a unique sound, and it typically sucks. Like, the only time you do a 5 1/4 is like when there's no other speaker that could ever possibly fit in the car. You do a 5 1/4. I would rather go down to a 4-inch, just because a 5 1/4 sucks that bad. And like, who puts 5 1/4 in their A pillars and think it's gonna work? No, this is dumb.
Yeah, yeah, that's a bit much. That's they're going a little overboard on that.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I've heard plenty of cars that have A pillars, and there's phenomenal. I sat in this Mustang too once that they put some full cal Utopia M's in, and these, Jesus, man, I'm like, that looks like a Star Wars creature. It looks like Hammerhead coming on these big eyeballs. And it's just like, you got to kind of get in the car like this. You know when you have the gold wing doors where you just kind of like got to get in the car kind of funky? You had to do this to get in the car to get around the mid tweeter pod that they had in there. I'm like,
well, you remember back in the day when the big kick panels were in, and you could barely put your feet in there. You're like, okay,
yeah. And your emergency brake was no longer functional.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cut the emergency brake out, bro. I carry a block in my trunk.
Yeah.
Everything for sound. And that's why the DSP exists now.
All right. One good thing. Let me see what I had on the list. Oh, people are starting to care about actual sound quality, not just saying they want a sound quality system with their 612s and 10,000 watts.
I mean, okay. I mean, yes, we're definitely doing more systems geared towards sound quality and making the car sound better. I mean, there's definitely people coming out of the woodwork, and I feel that if I was to like paint a picture of why that might be, is that like you look at these factory systems that are supposed to be high end, like the F-150 BO system.
Yeah.
Some of them, don't get me wrong, some of these Boston, or I'm sorry, the Bose systems and these Brewmeisters and like, they're not bad. They're pretty good. But if you have any ear whatsoever, you immediately pick out the holes and be like, man, this kind of sucks. So I feel like people have finally figured out that it's like, I bought this really awesome car with this really high-end system and it still sounds like dog shit. Why did I do this? You know, so now I have to spend the $5,000 or $6,000 to $10,000 to make it sound better, because I thought spending the $2,500 I did on this high-end system was going to make it sound good. It's got 27 speakers in it. You'd think it would sound good. That's another thing. I don't understand why the hell you need 27 speakers to make something sound good. As soon as I see something that says it has 27 speakers in it, I'm not buying that, because it can't be good.
I almost always want the base model of stereo they offer, unless there's some sort of screen that I need that I want that I'm going to have to keep. That's the only situation where I would actually pay for a little more for the high end.
Yeah, Jeff and I were talking about this DSP that came out with an obscene amount of channels, and we were like, all right, like, because some guy was like, why do you need that many channels? And we're like, I don't know, we got to think about it for a minute. It's like, all right, so I would do a 3-way set up front, that's 5. You do a 2-way set in the back, that's 10. You do a center that has a tweeter and a mid, that's 12. You do a rear center, that's 14, and then you have a sub, there's 16. All right, so there's your 16 channels, and you're like, a rear center, who the hell would want that? But there are cards that have it, so it's like 16 channel DSP. There you go. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know,
for all the Ford needs out there.
yeah. But yeah, so and there again, not that bad as opposed to is also like saying it's not that good. So it just depends on whether you're a half empty, half full kind of guy. So not that mad is, or not that bad is the exact same as saying not that good. It just depends on your perspective of how you're going to look at it. So good enough is basically just that. It's good enough. It's not great. It's not perfect. It's not what I really want, but there's nothing else to give me, so I'll take that. Well, unfortunately, there is better stuff to have. So it was funny today. We finished an F250 with the BO system in it, and another guy came in. He had just bought an F-150 with a BO system, and so I was like, "Hey, let's go out and we'll take a listen to this one." This one had all Hertz Milli Pros and audio control stuff in it, so it was geared towards that customer that wanted that sound, and so we listened to it, and he's like doing one of these things, and you're just, because you don't know how these people are going to react. I don't know this guy. I haven't talked to him. I didn't know anything about him. We hadn't talked about what kind of music he listens to or anything. I just knew we had the truck, and I was like, let's listen to this real quick before it leaves. And he's like, wow, the imaging and this is awesome. So you kept the center channel? I was like, no. Why would I? No. It's like, it's a DSP. I mean, it's kind of, and he was a home audio guy too, which was even funnier. Like, no, it's kind of the whole point of the DSP, bro. But there again, there's 6 speakers and 2 subs, so 8 speakers total, all active, just destroying it. But I get it. I understand why you put 22 speakers in a car, because you're trying to make the sound experience for everyone in the car amazing, as opposed to just the driver, which to me seems like a waste.
And it looks good in the ad. It looks good in the ad. 20. Isuzu has 27 speakers. Us Honda, we have 29 speakers.
Just give me 8 good ones. Screw your center channel. If you're not going to upmix your center channel, then there's no point in putting one in there. That's just the dumbest thing ever.
And I just need one mic. That's all I need.
All right, so now I got to
hit me with your negative.
Gigantic surrounds on woofers.
Oh, I feel you.
It's like, dude, there's that one company that came out, I don't even know who they are, that came out with that giant one recently. That it's just you see the video of it, and it's just like, it's just crumpling how and it's like, that can't sound good. I mean, I'm sure it goes blah 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 blah, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. And don't think for a minute, as soon as I saw that, I didn't go, oh, I want one. I did. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't think it's stupid. It's just I immediately wanted one, because I was like, oh my God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I must have one. But
and that surround's so big it has embossing on it.
Yeah.
Like with the logo.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. I don't even know who makes that. I'm sure one of you guys will know, and you'll tell us.
It's a Russian company.
Yeah. And you can't reach out to them at all. Like, because I was like, dude, I want to find out how much one of these things costs. I would buy that. And dude, make a stupid video, and then everyone in India could watch it, and I could get 45,000 subscribers because of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we know anybody that did that, but purely on accident.
When you start looking at analytics on YouTube, you see a lot of strange things going on.
I don't even look. I don't have time to look. I honestly don't. I don't look at any of that stuff. It's like, it's just whatever. How'd we do? We did okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. 25 Live says Death Bounce, but I don't think
it's not Death Bounce. No.
Yeah, it was another company.
Yeah. It's like this weird logo. I think there was a Y, maybe a K. Who knows?
Yeah. I'll keep it in the back of my mind. I go to my mind palace and I'll think about it while I'm talking about mine.
Okay, give me yours.
Mine is more manufacturers reaching out to the community, to the people, in the community, people on YouTube, kind of, getting involved, doing their own little, Facebook pages, and
That's a trend.
yeah.
Not in my world. I was gonna say maybe some of those DIY brands that you guys hang out with, but in my world, no, man, it ain't that. No, it's like pulling freaking teeth, bro.
Yeah, you must not have been on the forums, man. Or, well, the Facebook groups now.
Okay, probably not. I mean, let's be honest. If I need to talk to somebody in a manufacturer, I just call them and I talk to them direct. And I usually talk to whoever's in charge or that. And it's like, it's always the same funny story. Trust me, the 12 days of Christmas thing that we got going on, blowing my mind, the response we've gotten from that, because like up until this point, talking to manufacturers, it's like they all know us. They all know what we do. They've all seen the show. It's not like it's a surprise. It's not like, who are they? And the one guy that says, who are they? I just turn around and walk away because I'm like, where are you at? I mean, are you that like, how could you not know your industry? You know what I mean? I mean, if you Google car stereo, one of our videos is going to pop up, you know? Maybe not. I don't know. But you know, I don't know.
They're out there. You know, you can guarantee if you're on the Rock Crew forum, Eric Russell will be on there talking about something, and you know, Rockville Sam will be on there. There's quite a few of them out there in the Facebook groups, and I think it's a good thing. Even if it's all marketing, at least they're kind of getting to see what people in the groups are using.
I think most of them are doing really well on Instagram. Like, I think Instagram has definitely most of the car manufacturers do really well there because they're pictures and it's pictures of car audio. So how hard can it be? So I think they're doing really well there. I don't go into any of the forums on Facebook because that's not time that I have in my life.
Yeah.
As we said, Fernando and Clint take care of the Clean Wire Club because I don't. So it's that vicious circle. If you want to be a content creator, you're busy making content and you don't have time to deal with looking at content. So you have to decide what side of the fence you're going to be on. I rely on people like you to look at the content and then tell me about it and give me the abridged version of it. And then I go, okay, perfect. They're doing that. Awesome. But yeah, and it's sad. Like I want to spend more time. Like I caught part of your guys' show last night. That seemed like it was awesome. Like,
we had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome interview. The like 15 minutes I got to watch of it, but you guys just keep talking.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. We start talking about stories.
Yeah, and no, that was really cool, and I enjoyed it. But it was like I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're editing. You need the headphone part. Like I was watching the live stream for you guys the other day, and I was like, okay, I got one headphone in, and then the laptop just playing through the speaker. Like, okay,
no,
damn it, I missed that part.
No, and it's funny too because I was like, I'll just watch it on my phone. I'm like, how am I gonna do that? I gotta just don't be stupid.
Yeah,
which sucks because I mean it's like so like manufacturers will do these webinars and it's like, hey, it's gonna be a webinar at 7:00, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. Oh, but you know why? Because it's 7:00, bro, and at 7:00 I'm just home from work, and it's called run time. Maybe you've heard of it. It's where I go run for an hour and.
Oh, watch it while you're running.
That's the thing. I wouldn't mind listening to it while I was running. I could do that. I mean, I'd just be running slow, but I mean, I could totally do that. But unfortunately the Apple Watch doesn't have a app yet for Zoom, so or Facebook Live for that matter. That'd be cool. One day they will, and it's like I just need the audio from this, guys. I don't need to, I don't need to actually see this stuff. But
I know that's why we need to put this. I need to get us a SoundCloud, put this out as audio, because me too. Like while I'm working all day, I'm in a spot where I can use headphones most of the time, so I can work and listen. But I don't have time to watch everything.
I have a Podbeam account. We just throw it all up there.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's paid for. I just keep paying for it. So
that's the Dean classic move right there.
Just keep paying for it.
Wait, once they get Dean on the subscription, they know they got you because you're not going to go back and check it.
Well, I mean, so like we did that podcast for a really long time,
which was really good, and I
and
miss.
Trust me, I miss it too. I'm not gonna lie. Bobby, I think, misses it the most. Because every time the term podcast come up, what's up, Justin? I meant to text you back today, but I haven't done it yet. So we had a great time doing it, and then COVID happened, and it was just like the end of 2019 got really busy really fast, and it was like, we're just going to stop doing this for like a month and just kind of deal with all this crap at the end of the month or end of the year. And then 2020 rolled in. It was like, oh, this year, and it was like, oh, we got to do this. Oh, we'll come back to that. I think we still have 2 podcasts in the can that we haven't even done anything with yet. And that was it. And it was like, then this happened, and it's just like, it just went to the corner of the room, because it's like, we can't even get out of work on time, let alone find a half hour throughout the day where we can just set everything up and do it. And it's like, so I feel we're going to go back to it. That's like something that we really enjoyed doing, because it was a half hour of any topic we wanted. And it really gave us the ability to kind of vent, because I looked at that as more of a venting show, because it really wasn't super technical, but it had a point and a purpose, and we always try to steer into that. And we just ran our half hour on it, and then that was it. And it felt good when we were done. But yeah, we definitely need to go back to that.
Yeah, when there's more hours in the day, probably daylight savings. When it comes back around, maybe I'll have time then.
That's not a bad idea. Because what we do is we'd film like 3 or 4 of them, and we'd shoot for like an hour and a half. So I just write down The other thing too is topics. It's like, dude, could somebody else come up with these topics? I mean, for the love of God, it's like, I can only do so much.
Yeah. It's coming up with topics that you want, something that you're going to be able to speak on and people want to hear. It's tough every week to try to come up with something new.
You got any more on your list?
Yeah, I do.
All right, hit them. Let's do them. Let's hit your list. Let's do speed round.
All right. So what I have, more companies, even cheap ones, rating their amps appropriately. Just brands popping up, and they're not doing crazy numbers. Derek, I don't know how he finds these amps.
Oh, I don't either.
But I swear to you, this dude hits me every day with a brand of amp I've never heard of. And it does the power, and it's like, who knows how long it's going to last, but
it's because it was popular on Amazon or Walmart or whatever the hell he did this research on it.
Hey, he finds some, like, this is, I don't know, man. He's got some kind of magic going on.
Well, what's funny though is you got these off the wall strange brands like that are doing the actual power, and they don't last. And you got these other companies that are just like lying out the ass, and they're still here. And it's like,
yeah,
sometimes the cream doesn't always rise to the top.
Well, and the crazy thing is that stupid Boss, that Armor 4000.
Yeah,
those things are freaking bulletproof, man. Derek tried to fry that thing several different ways, and eventually he just had to throw bare copper onto it while it was on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had, some of those amps. I mean, it's old technology that it's just like, it's basic stuff. There's nothing in those amplifiers. It's like, all right, we got these are the 4 basic parts of an amplifier. We got them. We don't have this other bullshit in here. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we good. This work. It worked in 1978. It's gonna work in 2000.
Yeah. For sure. All right, what's the next one?
All right. Oh, that's it, man. Did you have any more hate in you to end this show?
I have hate in me for a lifetime, but I literally just pulling rabbits out of the hats. There's so many things that irritate the shit out of me. That's the joy of this. When you're trying to think of something, you never can. But no, I mean, for me, I think the biggest trend in all of this is that car audio right now is trending. I think that's really because the trend of car audio, it honestly blows my mind that this thing even exists. Because look at it like this. Are there any camera stores where you live?
One.
There's one? There's still one?
There's one.
Okay,
Yes.
so there's none here, and we're in Clearwater, Florida, population millions. Okay, there's
Mhm.
not one camera store here. There's a Best Buy.
Hey, we have 2 million people in our whole state.
Like I said, we got a few more. There's not one camera store in this area, and you look at all the stores that like don't exist anymore, and somehow there is in our area. There's probably 10 car stereo shops.
Wow.
Okay, when you factor, because we have normal part of town, and then we have Southside St. Pete. In St. Pete, there's like a car stereo shop in every corner, so it's like whatever. Every abandoned gas station is a car stereo shop, which is cool because we sell a lot of stuff to those guys, and some of them are really good places that do some amazing work. Wiring's something to be desired, but some of the fab work these guys do is just like, holy Jesus, really? That's insane. I mean, they have no fear. But I look at it, it's like 30 years of this, and it's hard to believe that this still exists. Like even 30 years ago, two of the shops that were around when I started, when I was in high school, still exist in this area. The owners are still there, so which is crazy. Two of them don't. One I worked for, and another one went out of business. But actually, the owner went to jail. That's a whole nother story. But it's weird that this is still a thing with all the other things that exist that don't exist anymore. I just
Yeah. It is, and it feels like it's on the rise
yeah.
even more at this point. It's like, I think it started like there's a community of people. We see them in chat all the time, and they kind of feed
Mhm.
the machine, and it grows upon itself. They might get one of their friends, and their friend may get one of their friends, and I
And
feel
it
like
just it doesn't make any sense. It
yeah, I
doesn't
know.
make any sense. I mean, and so, but you would think, okay, so you'd think like, like look at the cheap stuff that Derek reviews, and you'd think, well, everyone's just going to buy $100 amp, and it's like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, I, I mean, don't
Turns
get me
out they
wrong.
just want to know, does
Yeah,
this cheap amp actually do the power or not?
yeah. Oh, it does. Oh, that's cool. Um, like my customers, I mean, we have a very diverse group of people in the store. We have what we call Paul's customers, and we have what are my customers. And like Paul's customers are buying Scar Audio by the pallets and selling, and just 5 or 1,000 watt amp for $150 all day long. But my customers are just not like, they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, no,
They pull their glasses down. Scar.
yeah, give me the good stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with Scar. Don't get me wrong. I have no
Yeah.
problem with it. It's fine. We've done plenty of systems with it that are just like, wow, okay. But just the industry as a whole, the fact that it still even exists, just as a trend itself, is just amazing. I don't understand it. I can't put my finger on it. I guess it all just goes to how powerful music actually is.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, at the end of the day, that is the only thing that it's like a car and music. I mean, why those two go together? It makes no sense. I mean, I get it.
Mutes,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, because like when cars came out, they didn't have radios. I mean,
Yeah.
radio. I mean, granted, they couldn't put a radio in a car back then, but an AM radio was like, oh, we got in. You listen to the news. Oh, that's so cool. And it's like, it's just one of those weird things that has just evolved over the years. And
Yeah.
power doesn't mean good sound. Power does not mean good sound.
Right.
Good sound means good sound.
But
Good
you want
power.
to know the coldest part about these stereos, and my buddy JDR said this before. He said, I've spent thousands of dollars in stereo equipment so I can listen to podcasts when I drive in my car. And that's exactly what I do too.
I don't even listen to. I listen to NPR.
Oh, well, I mean, I listen to NPR too, but in podcast form.
Yeah. Well, I just listen to it on Apple Music. I just play
Yeah.
NPR. I mean, there again, it's about 50-50. Most of the time I don't play anything. Like I'll get in the car, I'll turn on. If the story sucks, I'll just turn it back off and drive in peace and quiet. But I mean, to be fair, it's like I've sat at work all day and played music in cars till my heart was content. So I'm like, it's called quiet time. And then I'm gonna hop in, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna put my headphones on, I'm gonna go running, and they're gonna have background, it's music's gonna be playing in the background, the same 80 songs that I've listened to for the past, 5 years. It's just weird. The whole. I mean, dude, we're doing this freaking YouTube channel talking about car audio. I mean,
yeah,
really?
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago when Facebook first came out, this was, my dream was to create what we've created. I just didn't know how I was going to do it, or if it was even a thing that was possible. But, when this was before I was at 5-star or any of this other stuff, it was like, I said, the owner there, I was like, this is what I want to create. I want to create a page that has technical stuff and reviews and training. I was like, I want to create a magazine online that people can watch and enjoy. And he just looked at me like I was on crack. Because it was, why would you look at it any other way? I mean, the tools didn't exist. It was like podcasts were just starting to turn into something. There weren't video podcasts by any stretch of the imagination. We weren't doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the iPhone was just becoming a thing. It was like a camera that doesn't suck on a phone, or a camera that you can actually like take pictures with that you're going to show someone and not be like, it's like 1 megapixel. What are you going to do with that? It takes video. What is, it's like, I got my camcorder,
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, we didn't even know how we were going to do it. And it was this grandiose idea that I was like, this is going to happen. I want this to be a thing. And we tried, but it was, and so fast forward to now, some probably 15 years later, and yeah, it's a thing. It's a doable thing. We can actually do this thing, and we've done it, and it's really weird.
And now you're doing the 12 days of Christmas with the.
Yeah, it's right now. I think it's 16 days of Christmas. Is how we're going to go all the way. I think when we're all said and done, we're going to go all the way to the 31st.
Have you announced all the plans for that? Is it going to be like a live stream every day? Is it going to be a?
So So what you're going to end up doing is we're going to go to one of the 5 social networks in the morning, and we're going to tell you. You're going to already know because we're going to publish the calendar, but we're going to go on. We're going to talk about that day's event, and we're going to give you a question and an email address. And so you answer the question. You email us the answer to the question. That's it. That's all you got to do to enter. So what we're going to, 5 o'clock is the cutoff. So at 5 o'clock, that's it. No more guessing. And we're going to pick the winners, and we'll come on at 6:30 as we're walking out the door, and we're going to tell everyone who won. Nice. Some of these are going to be like multi things, like we were talking today on Instagram. iData sent us 24 of the cool metal panel tools that we use. So we're going to have 24 winners that day. 24 people are going to get this panel tool. Audio Control, big supporter of the show. They gave us like an LC2i Pro, 2 LC1Is, an Epicenter, a DM608, and an LC 1.800.
Wow.
So we have all those prizes to give away. So that day you're going to have, I don't know. And then on the opposite side of that, the big prize on December 24th, I think we're going to do Sony. Sony gave us, of course, a cool set of headphones, Bluetooth. I'm going to give them away. And then they also gave us a full system. So we have that 8,000 10-inch floating panel. We have the 5-channel DSP amplifier. We have a set of GS components, a set of GS coaxials, and 2 12s.
The whole system.
The whole goddamn GS system. I'm like, okay, so that day, Christmas Eve, someone's going to win. Huge. And then to kick it all off, on the 7th, Helix is repped in the United States by a company called MSC, Mobile Solutions Calgary. It's a Canadian firm that has so they call them MSC. They do Helix, Stinger radar detectors, and Blam, and they may have some other brands. Those are their big brands. And one of their guys that we know, this guy named Doug Dobson, is going to be here in town with his family. So we're going to start the whole thing off with them they're giving us a whole system. They're giving us like I just found out today what it is. So we're going to have a 3-way set. This is all going to be Helix. You're getting a 3-way set, their new 4-channel DSP, and like another amplifier for the subs. You're getting a sub. It's like,
wow,
holy shit. It's like $3,800 worth of stuff or something like that. There again, I'm not a money guy, so I don't get involved in that. Alpine gave us like their 8-inch powered subwoofer with the DSP 4-channel amp for it. So it's like their little 5-channel 8-inch subwoofer DSP gimmick. So we're going to have one of those. Pioneer's going to give us something. Jensen's giving us the 10.1-inch radio that Derek wanted.
Yeah.
So we got one of those coming. Kicker's a Kicker Key with some speakers and a couple gift packs. Morel gave us like 3 gift packs and 2 sets of 6.5-inch components. Some of the carbons, some of the nano carbons is really thin ones, and then a set of the ultras, Maximo ultras. I just call them ultras.
Yeah.
JVC Kenwood, like Kenwood gave us, I think, 6 dash cams to give away.
Wow.
And then 2 pairs of their new Marine speakers, one of their small 4-channel amplifiers. JVC gave us a radio, an amplifier, an air freshener, a set of Marine speakers, and the list goes on and on. We worked something out with Wire Care, so we have like a shrink wrap kit, full of all different size shrink wrap, and a whole ferrules toolbox that has like ferrules and crimp tools, and then a bunch of braided loom. Another fan of the show is a guy named Todd Ramsey. He reviews products, so he's got all these oscilloscopes that he's reviewed and doesn't use. And he's like, I'm going to send these to you. You guys can give them away. I was like, oh, hell yes. So we have like right now we have 2 oscilloscopes we're going to give away. We might have more by the time it comes to do it. And then Mobile Solutions gave us 2 of their animals. And then we have another PT9A Plus to give away.
That's a good tester.
Yeah. Oh, that thing's awesome. It's phenomenal. So I'm trying to, Ground Zero. We know, so Ground Zero, we're still figuring out what we want to do there, because technically everything we have of theirs is still theirs. So they're like and they sent us some other things. So we're still trying to figure out what we want to do for them. But it's what if we're gonna do what Fernando does, everyone's gonna be like, oh hell yes. So we have that going on with them. It's a Ground Zero / Sound Digital, because it's the same company here in the U.S. Same rep firm that handles them both. So it'll be a group between them. Pioneer, radio. Stinger gave us a high 10, so we have the high 10. I think we have some RCAs too. So try not to forget anybody, but it's like there's 16 companies.
That sounds more than 16 days worth of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. So every company is gonna. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna put out the calendar, and it's gonna have everything on it, and then we're going to go on in the morning. We're not going to tell you where we're going. That's the whole thing, is you got to pay attention. Like there's 5 social networks that we have. We have Dean and Fernando's Clean Wire Club on YouTube. I'm sorry. Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo clips on YouTube. We have the regular 5-star Car Stereo on YouTube. We have the Clean Wire Club on Facebook. We have 5-star on Facebook. And then we also have 5-star on Instagram. So one of those 5 places is going to be where we're going to go in the morning. So, and we're going to try to keep it around, that 10 o'clock in the morning thing where we're going to go on. So it's kind of like on point. And then, let's go good stuff. Subject was, yeah. But so and then, you'll have plenty of time. So everyone will have time to enter. It's not going to be like, oh, I forgot. I mean, like if you didn't know to go look for it that day, really? I mean,
so someone make a Facebook group and then just post all the things.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do. But so we worked on the calendar tonight and putting everything up. That's why it's still fresh in my mind, because we were trying. We're trying to strategically figure out like crazy gift, okay gift. Yeah. Oh, JBL gave us a set of speakers. We're still trying to work on them some more. So it's like lots of pieces in play here as far as and so we're trying to do is like and then like and then you know.
And all I picture is the thousands of dollars you're going to spend on shipping that people
Oh,
don't even count.
oh no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I already know. I'm like I said, I'm budgeting like $2,500, but I feel it, you know, hopefully be less. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, the thing is, it's like, hey, why not? You know, this
Yeah.
year sucked for everyone. If we can get these guys to come together and do something cool, and I mean, literally, all you have to do is answer a question. Every freaking question is going to be super simple. I think, actually, and we left it up to the manufacturers as far as if they want to guess. Like the cool one that like Helix came up with, like this is really cool. So they just built a whole new website, and what they said is, hey, could we make this interesting? I said, how so? He says, so we'll go to the website, type in your address, and give us the name of the store next to you, closest to you. So there's a dealer locator. I was like, that's awesome. Because the reason for it is because they want to figure out how many people there are that are interested in their brand, and how many do they need dealers in these areas. So like if you're in Kansas and the closest dealer is in Nevada, then they need to do some work to get something a little bit closer. So but it's that simple. It's like, you know, so literally all you're going to do is you're going to go on to helix.com, type in your address and their dealer locator, whatever store comes up that's closest to you. You're going to put that in an email, send it to the page that we have, and you're done. And then that night we're going to go on and we're going to pick a freaking super winner that's going to get this gigantic Helix system.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm not entering any of these, but I'm excited to watch that bit. I want to see the reaction to the person that you announce them live. I'm just gonna go bananas in the chat.
Oh yeah, dude, and let me tell you what. Someone said like Boss and Crunch. If they wanted to be part of this, I have no problem with that. Why would I care? It's you know, like when we went to Jensen, you know, and Fernando was like, really? And I was like, why not? It's free car stereo stuff. Are you trying to tell me if someone gave you a 10-inch Jensen radio, you wouldn't be like, I'll take it?
Yeah, people buy these.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's who cares? I mean, it's free car stereo stuff.
Yeah, Derek's literally gonna buy that 10-inch Jensen anyway. So
yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, Rockford Fosgate. Thank you. Rockford Fosgate gave us a power kit, a T1005, the little one, the little T1005 AD, T1000X5 AD, and then 2 pairs of punch speakers. We have a set of punch coaxials and a set of punch components. So yeah, so they hooked us up. There may or may not be a subwoofer with that one. I don't know yet because I have to go back and look at the email. But yeah, so Rockford came through. Kicker gave us a gift bag. So we have one big gift bag. And then we also have a system, which is going to be a your favorite amp, the 400 or 204 key. So we got a key and some CS speakers to go with it. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's a nice little system there. The gift bag's pretty cool too because it comes with it's their duffel bag. They got this awesome duffel bag. It's a jacket, like a Dickies shop jacket.
Yeah.
A beanie and like this weird credit card multi-tool thing that they have. So
yeah. Kicker and Rockford Fosgate go all out on the merch stuff.
Dude, you know who goes out?
They got everything.
Dude, Morel does some crazy stuff with their merch.
They?
So they gave us 3 gift bags. So you're getting a Morel thermos, little coffee thermos thing. All right, hold on, I gotta go through this in my head. So a thermos. Shit. There's okay. Oh, a hat. You get a thermos, a hat, hand sanitizer, and there was one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. So they gave us 3 of those to give away. Oh, and they gave us a Hagtalar. So we have another Hagtalar to give away. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. I was like, I always forget about that. It's like the coolest thing ever. It's like, I don't know. Everyone should be asking for a Hagtalar for Christmas. Because, dude,
those are cool. They seem like they sounded really.
Oh my god, dude, they're insane how good they sound, and they're so affordable. Like if you got an office or anywhere where you need a Bluetooth speaker and you don't want a piece of crap, and you can plug it into the wall, you buy one of those because it just kills it, you know.
And
And then there's always
that's
the
like
one
an
guy that's like,
IKEA
"Oh."
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's made to
Yeah.
go in the 12 by 12 IKEA thing, but I mean, you can literally put it anywhere. And you own a Morel product, which, let's be honest, that's the best part of it. I wish they made headphones, but
That's a good entry point at, you know, what,
yeah,
little over $200 or
yeah, get you into fanboy mode. But that's it. So I know we've gone long. I apologize, but yeah, so that's you guys that are here are getting the sneak peek as far as all that stuff, which I've been kind of teasing it here anyways. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of Reverse Polarity, the show where we just talk about stuff.
Yeah, we just talk about things for the first 15 or 20 minutes, and then we talk about our audio. And then sometimes we veer off in the middle. Who knows? But we have fun every Thursday.
Yes.
And I got some car speakers to blow up and show you guys Monday. So we're going to do
Awesome.
that. And yeah, we'll see you next
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Thursday.
covered. I got all we got going on.
Same bat channel,
Same bat station.
same bat time.